Class?
Yes.
All right, so yes, today I got my 5th hour, and I still have people. I warned you once. I think I've even said it twice about certain things. I keep asking for stuff to go away, and they don't seem to go away. All right, so page in our notebook. What page are we on in our notebook? 36 and 37 for all those people at home that are playing along with us. 36, 37. So this one in my notes is actually going to be 37. So my first question is, M and K are both polynomial functions where x of x, where m of x is that, and k of x is that. First, how are they alike? How are they alike? Yeah. Okay, so they both have those. What did we call these things right here? What did we call those yesterday? Factors. Very good. Those are the factors. They have the same factors. Okay? So they are the same factors. So I could say that one, right?
Yeah.
Now, how are they different? The 3 before that, right? So that 3 right here, what does that mean about that 3? It's multiplying, right? So it's going to be 3 times as big. It's going to be 3 times as big. What did I say, just the 3? Yeah.
3 before the factor. Or
3 times bigger. All right, so that one's going to be 3 times bigger there. Now, what did we also refer to these things are? So they are factors, but there was something I was able to get from that information.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah is an answer. I'm not saying it's the right one, but yeah is an answer. Do what? Yeah, they're going to be equal to x, but what does that mean? If I was to have that on a graph, what would that tell me? If it's on a graph, what does it tell me? It is the function. But that right there, the x plus 3, what does the x plus 3 tell me about that function?
How much is increasing by?
Say it, I heard it. 0. Say 0. Where it's equal to 0, isn't it? With the factors, I could set this equal to 0. Remember doing that? Setting it equal to 0. So right here, with this x plus 3, that's going to give me a 0 where?
3.
Not at 3. Because it looks like this. It goes x plus 3 equals 0, right?
Mm-hmm.
So subtract 3 from both sides, so I get x is negative 3. So that means that it's going to cross my x-axis at negative 3. Does that make sense? It's crossing my x-axis at negative 3. What about that other thing right here? I got 2x minus 5 equals 0. Add 5 to both sides. Then divide by 2. And that's going to give me something. Fractions are your friends.
Oh. Negative
Not negative. Let's do it.
1/2.
Plus 5. Plus 5. 2x is equal to 5. Divided by 2. X is 5 over 2. Or if you're one of those people that really have to have a decimal, 2.5. Yes, 2.5. Okay, so now I'm going to take a look at this information right here. So we are going to graph my functions. So I am going to clear my screen. We're going to graph the functions. This is my f1, and this one right here is going to be my F2. So, on the calculator, so the calculators are somewhat working today. Not fully working, but just somewhat.
Tab E.
So, I'm going to, for 5th hour, I'm going to begin the class. So, if you do log in, you could still get to it. So, we'll eventually log in here in a minute. So, I'm going to go ahead and take a look. Scratchpad. So, I have Scratchpad. So, I'm going to hit Doc, letter B, because that's going to change a lot. So, Doc B, so you clear off everyone else's mistakes. Now from there, I'm going to hit Scratchpad again. And my first function, my F1, I said that one is going to be the x plus 3 and the 2x minus 5. X plus 3, 2x minus 5. There we go. So everyone is doing this, and as soon as you got that one in there, it's your first one. Hit tab again, and you do the same thing. The next one has a 3 in front of it, doesn't it? Wait, what?
Where are you getting this information
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
from? Where are you getting this information from? Like what?
The first question.
Where? Oh, okay.
Question 1. So 7.1 right on your paper. So if you can't see it from there.
Oh no.
2x minus 5. Hit tab. Tab is the third button on the left. So everyone should be seeing something like this. Once you get to this part right here, I would like everyone to log in. Make sure you do the login, the home 55. So I can see your calculator from here. All right, is anyone struggling with this right now? Anyone need help plugging it in?
Wait, what was the first one?
It's on the page. It's the first problem. So it's the m of x one. Soleil, can you enter the second one, please? You have the first one in. How? Hit tab, the third button on the left. All right, anyone? Let me see. Yes, what's up? Yes, you may. Actually, hold on. Candidates, did you still need to go? You weren't waiting on anyone. I was waiting for us to get started with this. Okay, go ahead. Right after her, right? Okay. All right, so are we okay yet? I see a lot of people here still not there. Yes.
This is too bright.
Okay, so your issue is, okay, when you do doc, and then B starts us over. Hit this one more time. There we go. So now we started, okay? Because you want to get rid of all that's in there before, because those people screwed it up.
The first one
Right there. Now get that. Make sure you clear it out. Start. Thank you. All right. Let's go ahead and we're answering the second problem. Now that I see a lot of people are actually on there. So we're answering the question. It says, if a graphing window is from here to here, so that means this is the X min, this is the X max, Y min, Y max, show intercepts. So I'm going to get to that. So we're going to change our window. Justin is changing his window. So he's doing menu. Window. Brooklyn, please. Soleil. Oh, okay. There you go. Brooklyn, please. I need you graphing on this. The calculator is important here.
Window setting.
Window. And then window settings. Can you put in the calculator, please? We're changing the windows on the calculator. So my X min, what did I say the X min was? -5. What's the X max? +5. The Y min, the Y max, whoa. So everyone should look like this. Because if you move it, watch. You put it over, it highlights it. Yes. Yeah. Yours don't look like that? Give me 1 second. Let me pull yours up. All right, hit tab. All right, hit escape. I don't know, you got some weird menu up. Okay, now hit the scratch pad again. Scratch pad. Hit tab. Arrow up. Okay, see that second one? It doesn't have parentheses around it. So you need to have parentheses. So it's got to be parentheses 2x minus 5. Up. Arrow up again. Ah, dang it. Tab. Arrow up. That's the one that you got to fix.
So you said press window.
Window settings. Look, arrow up again. Now, delete. Watch this. Delete. Start over here. Delete. All the way up to the 2. Delete it. Open parentheses. 2x. Minus 5. Close parentheses. Enter. There you go. All right, so given that, Now, we changed the window here, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. It says, if a graphing window exists, shows all intercepts. Okay, what's a graphing window? Show all intercepts of k of x. Now, by all intercepts, it's asking for the x-intercepts. And the y-intercepts. So it means where it crosses the x-axis and where it crosses the y-axis. So I'm going to erase a little bit here. All right, so we said this is where it crosses the axis, right? We said this is going to be at x equals -3, x equals +5 over 2. So there's two places where it crosses the x-axis, right? Say yes. And we have to figure out where it's going to cross the y-axis. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to show you this neat trick, and it is, if I look at my blue line on the graph, where does it cross the y-axis? What does it look like?
17.5.
Say 15.
15.
At 15. Let me show you why. At 15, because it's going to be 3. So +3, -5. +3, -5. -15. So that's where I get that. That's where it's going to cross the y-axis. Okay. So why isn't my other one like that?
Because of 3.
Because the 3. What is the 3 going to mean? It's 3 times larger, right? So this graph is going to be 3 times larger. So it's going to be 3 times 3 times -5.
45.
-45. So my axis is going to be at -45. So if I want the window, if I want to see it in the window, I have to go a little bit further than where it's crossing. Okay, so I say it's going to be -45, so let's go up to -50. So I'm going to do my y value. So -50, because it goes to 45, right? And to +50. So let's go ahead, take a look at it. I'm going to do my graph again. Window again, menu, window. So I'm going to change this one now. So I want this one to be -50. No, you messed up. -50. Next one is +50. So we're changing so I could actually look at all the y-intercepts also. Hey, look, now there it is. It crosses the y-intercept there. It crossed the y-intercept there. So I now have all that information. I notice where it crosses the x-axis there, and the y-axis there and there. Yes.
So we don't need a graph to determine where it intersects.
No, you don't. You could actually use the function to tell you where it's at. But sometimes you have to learn how to use a calculator to be able to get some of the stuff. Some of the stuff is not easy to get. We're going to have one later on that's actually super hard. Super hard. Okay. All right. Let's take a look. Let's look at this next one. It says, so on your paper, you should be on the 7.21. Yes. Yeah. Right here? I just wrote a whole bunch of extra stuff on there. Yeah. What I had up there earlier is what you needed. So it says Maya, however you say it, graphs the function and where it's going to be x plus 1, x minus 2, and x plus 15. and sees the graph. She says, graph looks like a parabola, so it must be quadratic. All right, class.
Yes.
All right, now, can you show me the shape of a parabola? Not that one, that one. Remember, it's Squidward. Remember, we're doing the interpretive dance. So, parabola, arms up. Parabola right here, right? So, parabola here. Now, that's going to be an x squared. And what was x cubed? Yep, there we go. So, x cubed is look like this. So, in this case right here, I have 1, 2, 3 x's. So, I'm going to end up with an x cubed shape. It's supposed to end up with x cubed. Now, where does this one right here cross the x-axis? At -1, right? So we're going to say x equals. What about this one right here?
Plus 2.
X equals positive 2. And what about this one? Yep. X equals -15. All right, so what's the problem with this right here? Is Maya correct? No, not correct. So this is a no. Why? Why is this not correct? Which one is she missing?
1. I mean, what? -2 and 15.
Which one is she missing? Say it. -15 because look, it's crossing right here. So if you look, there's my positive 2. There's my -1. And my -15 is not on there, right? So I can't see it because my graph is not showing that it's going to be there. Explain how we can select our viewing window from this. All right. So we know I have to include all these, right? So what should be the lower bound of this? So I'm going to say that x is going to be between. My lowest is what?
And 20.
Yeah, -15, right? So let's go to -20. My highest is, okay, no, look, right, my highest is 2. So let's go to 5. 5 sounds good. So now, the only time that we're actually doing the other way, I'll show you. Now for the y values, yes. Someone else is in line, aren't they?
No.
She's gone as soon as she gets back. All right, so for the y values, how did I show you guys to get the y value? How did we get the y value?
I forgot.
Multiply? What am I multiplying?
1, 2,
1 times -2 times 15. 1 times -2 is -2. So I get negative what? -30. So lower bounds should be -30. Let's go a little bit more. Let's go -35. All right, so let's do the same thing for the max part. Positive 35. The reason why I say left and right actually have certain amounts, and this one doesn't, because the only way, if I have one place where it crosses the y-axis, and I have multiple places where it crosses the x-axis. That's why this is different than this. Rafa, you understand that? Okay, good. I'm not... huh?
It looks like -34.
-34?
Yeah, I was.
Okay. So are you talking about like the lowest point? Yeah, the lowest point. So we get that. So we're just changing our viewing window now. So same function. So we're going to do this function right now. So in your calculator, so every time we're starting a new function, doc B. Doc B clears up everything. So x plus 1. X minus 2. And x plus 15.
Yes.
There we go. There's my first problem. Sit up, boy. We're doing this work. Type your stuff in. Now, menu. I'm changing the window. So what do we say our lower bound is for the x? Negative 20. Let's do that. Upper, we said 5, right? Y min. And Y max. Positive 35. There we go. Would I do what? Did you write this down? So the x min is negative 20. The x max is 5, right? So that's what this means right here. So you guys should have this on yours right now. Brooklyn, I need you picking up the calculator and entering this, please. Please enter in the calculator. Hey, Brooklyn. You know this is your calculator. This one's yours. Yes, this one is yours. I'm asking you, please enter the stuff in the calculator. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Where am I at? Justin still entering it. You have a different problem. You have to change your function. Most people are where they're supposed to be at here. Carmen, you having trouble there?
Yeah, I think that's the other one.
Okay, so you're doing it right now?
Yeah.
Okay. You were okay. Don't do your function. You just change the window.
That's it.
Escape. Now, menu. Window zoom. Window settings. And use this, what I put up here on the board. So the x min should be negative 20. X max is 20. Y min is negative 35. Y max is positive 35. All right, looks like everyone's pretty much there. So let's take a look at this next problem now. Okay, look at this next problem. So I'm going to go through and identify everything I just did on that previous one to be able to figure out what I would choose for my graphing window here. This first thing, this first factor, what does that tell me about this? I have a 0 where? It's equal to 0 where? -1. This is going to be equal to 0 at -1. So right here I get x equals -1. What about the next one? X equals +1. The one after that. X equals +2. And my last one? +28. So my viewing windows for my x's would be from where? So my lowest number is -1, right? Let's make it -5. I like going in 5s and 10s. -5. What about the max? My max here is what?
30.
So it's 28, right? You want to go up to 30? You can do that. All right, now let's take a look at the y values for the viewing window. So my y value, it glitches sometimes. So y values for the viewing window. So let's figure it out. What is it going to be? What was the trick that I did to figure out the y values? Where's the y-intercept going to be? 1 times -1, -1 times -2, +2 times 28, 56. So it's positive 56, right? Or is it negative?
No, it's negative.
It's negative because it was a +2 times a -28. So it's going to be a -56. So let's just go -60. So y max, just match it, +60. We don't have to do this one. No, we're just trying to figure out how to do it. So whenever you give a function, you could actually use this information to go through and find everything you need. All right, I'm going on to the next one. Different windows for this graphing function. Okay, so now let's first start off with my x's. So, looks like I got a whole bunch of big numbers here, right? Okay, so for my x's, right here I'm going to have x equals positive 53, right? Is everyone following along, or I just speaking to like 3 people now? Only 3 people are like following along. A lot of people are like trying not to go to sleep. I get it. I'm boring. The struggle is real. Huh? All right, let's see. This first one right here, x minus 53, that's going to give me an x value of what? 53. What about this one? X equals 18, so it's going to be crossing the x-axis at 18. What about this one over here? What do we get? -111? Okay. All right. So now, let's take a look at my viewing windows for my x's. What is my lowest x?
18. -18.
Oh wait, this is a negative. I'm sorry. That should be a negative right there.
-11. 111.
Okay, so it's going to be my x negative. Yeah, let's do 120. Okay, I'll do that one. All right, what's the highest number?
60.
55.
It's 53, right? The highest number is 53, so go a little bit more than that.
55.
That's 60. I like 60. There we go. So now, what about my viewing window for my y values? I'm going to get a whole bunch here, right? So, yeah, can't really do it in your head. So I'm going to show you. So I'm going to do y. So we'll figure out what we're going to do here, and we're going to play with it. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So we look to see what's in the viewing window first. So I'm going to graph this function. So I'm gonna hit doc. Letter B.
What about the 23?
We'll see it in a second. Remember that that's a multiplier, so it doesn't change where my zeros are. So my function, it has 23 parentheses x minus 53 close open x minus 18 x 1 1 1. There we go. So if you notice on my graph by itself right now, if I'm just looking at only my graph, is my graph even on there? Can't see it because it's outside my windows, right? So menu, window. We said negative 120.
Yeah.
X max. What do we say? 60? Yeah, I went up to 60. Y min. Hey, you know what? Let's just go negative 20. You know what? It's big numbers. So I'm going to say negative 100. And positive 100. Wow. All right. Is that enough? Nope, not enough, is it? So let's change the Y values.
Do we need to go bigger or?
Bigger.
Go 10,000.
Do 1,000.
10,000.
10,000?
Yeah.
He says 10,000. So I'm going to add 2 zeros. Still not enough.
10,000.
1 million.
1 million?
No.
So that's adding 2 more zeros?
No, that's too much.
That's too much?
No, it's
No,
okay.
do 1 million.
Do it.
Adding 2 more zeros.
Is that all the zeros you count?
That's too much.
But if I add all the zeros I can, guess what? Then I'm not going to see my graph anymore. Oh. It's almost there.
Oh.
So do 10
A
million.
million 500,000.
Okay, so now this one, I almost got this part, right?
Yeah.
So I almost got the bottom, so let's go ahead and change that one. So,
Do 10 million.
so the bottom is this,
Change it to 150.
10 million. So watch it. It's scientific notation. That's how big it is now.
Oh. Do we put 9?
Do 8.
No. Whoa. This is 30 times.
Yeah, this is scientific notation. It's negative 1 times 10 to the 7. This is negative 1 times, or positive 1 times 10 to 7. Hey, look. This is 10 million.
It goes.
Put a 7.
So is it still not there here?
Young man, no.
So I would do like a, maybe like a 1.1 on top, just to try and get it.
Is this the really one that you're talking about?
Y max, let's say 1.1. Hey, look, I got it now.
Yes.
They're both in there, right? So it crosses the axis right here. You have to learn how to play with these calculators to manipulate it to see your graph. A lot of the stuff you're eventually going to do is, do you know how to use your calculator correctly?
That's a big number.
That's what I said about big numbers, right?
They scare me.
Big numbers.
Big numbers.
So let's take a look at this one right here. Okay, everyone's following along right now? Because I'm almost done and you're not putting stuff away. Because you still got some of this to fill out. It says right here, write a possible equation for a polynomial whose graph has the following horizontal intercepts. So I'm giving you the horizontal intercepts. So the notebook is out, not away. Say it again. The horizontal intercept. So that means it's going to cross the axes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And at 4, 0. That is my where it crosses the axes. So this one right here, it's crossing there. So what would I write that as an equation? Y equals, where does it cross at?
X minus 4.
Excellent. X minus 4.
See, that's why you should put me in AP.
That's it. That's all it is. X minus 4. It's crossing at 4, right?
Yeah.
So that's it. What about the next one?
X.
I know I have an X minus 4. 2 more minutes.
X plus 0.
So it's going to be X minus 4. And this is going to be X plus 0, right? But what is X plus 0?
0.
Okay, so X plus 0 is just X, right?
Yeah.
So it's just going to be X. Because I know you're writing this down and not just holding on to your backpack thinking you're getting out of here right away. What about this one right here?
Y equals X minus, plus 2?
Y equals X plus 2,
Ooh.
X minus 4.
X.
And let's skip to the last one. Because it's getting kind of annoying to tell people to take their bags out or take their notebooks out.
Y equals X plus
And they're
5.
just asleep up there in the front. Y equals X plus 5.
And then Y equals X plus 1/2. 1/2.
Or I'm sorry, Y. Okay, so it's going to be X
Minus.
and
X minus 3. X minus 3.
And X.
X minus
Yeah.
that's it.
Yep. Is that good now? Yeah.
Easy. Okay. Like, share, and subscribe.